Hey guys, welcome to the channel and welcome to another stream and another video series, another build. This guy right there, that is the M2, I gotta read it off, M2A3 Bradley with Busk 3. It's a model kit by Meng. It's a 1/35th scale. I believe this is like an infantry carrier. We're going to get this box open, start this series, and run the credits. And or not the credits. You see, I've only had 2 sips of my coffee. It hasn't even hit my system yet. So just give me a minute, okay? Run the intro and we'll get started. Okay guys, so we're back and we're going to open up the box of this thing and go through it all, and we'll see what's involved with this kit, and we're going to get started. Obviously I need to drink a little more of my coffee. So let me pull my table over here. Get that out of the way. As you can tell, I have already opened the box, and so here's your big instruction booklet. It's a big booklet, and it's a book. We got 30 pages. It's a 30-page book. Now, of course, we've got the first few pages are just like history, and in a couple of languages. I believe the first page is Chinese, and then we've got maybe Japanese, and we got English, and maybe Russian. Could be Ukrainian, I don't know, maybe those are the same language. I'm a little ignorant on that, I admit. And yeah, and then we've got a little bit of a history on Omar Nielsen Bradley, who this vehicle's named after. He was a 5-star general in the US Army. So yeah, there's our instruction booklet. Obviously it comes with that. We get also a little page that is just a little color call out, and it's not even really a color call out. It just showed in that desert tan color, but I believe it's for decals, really more if you've got 3 different versions, I guess, for this particular kit. There's that. Okay, put that over there. Let's look at this box. It is a big kit. It's a big kit. It's thick. Look how thick that is. It's as thick as my hand almost, right? That's a good, 4-inch deep box. It's there's a lot to this kit. And when I say a lot, when I open this up, here, let me move this. When I first opened this kit up, I was like, holy shit, pardon my language, holy crap, there's a lot of sprues in this kit. And I'm thinking, are they trying to be like Bandai, and am I building a Gundam here? Like, why is there so many sprues, and they're different colors even. Different colors. I got 3 different colors of sprues. Well, technically 4. And a little bag, you get a little bag with some clear sprues, and you get 1, 2, 3 sprues of clears, plus a bag of track links that are together. Let me change the camera here. You get a bag of track links, and each pair of track links you have to take the nubs off, and well, you get a whole bag of them, and you got to put them all together yourself. So that's fun. Like I said, we've got 3 sprues of clears. 2 are clear and 1 is tinted, a very light bluish color. So although this bluish color one looks like it's the same as this one. Yeah, these are both the U sprue. U. How many times do your kits actually have a sprue letter going up to U? Like, really? You? And T. This one's T. Like, come on. Wow. So much. Plus we get a little bag with some decals and photo etch. This is why I like Mang for their armor kits. Like, really. That's some fan grills and I don't know what those are. I really don't. I don't know what they are. We're gonna find out though. We'll get to them. And then some more grills here. Detail on them is really nice. Like that's some nice detail they do. Right. So yeah, and then we've got decals, like lots of decals. This is gotta be the most decals I've seen in a tank kit. But why? Why do they have all the decals? Because this kit has a full interior. When I was looking at this, so this is a whole bunch of Arabic on here. I'm not sure what this is all about. They're warning placards for modern U.S. military vehicles. And they're in Arabic. That is hilarious. Warning vehicles. When signaled, proceed and pass with caution. That is hilarious. So you could put signs up on your diorama. That's a first. I've not seen that before. So I'm going to put these all back in the bag because obviously we ain't getting to no photo etch yet. Am I getting them back in the bag? I'm trying to get them back in the bag. Because of the fold in the bag. Doesn't really want to go. There we go. Get in there, guys. These are hilarious. That makes me laugh. Does it make you laugh? Yes, it does make me laugh. It does. I thought that was funny. Warning signs, and they're all in Arabic. Okay, let's put these aside. And another sip of coffee. I gotta wake up here. Okay, so we got our main hull. Two pieces here. Lots of ejector pins. Still, never mind the ejector pin marks. These are ejector pins. These all gotta go away. We'll have to clean those up. And of course take this out of here for the turret. This is gonna, eventually, we're gonna get to going together something like this. Two-piece hull. But as you can see, the back is open because we're gonna be building the interior on this thing and the engine. And so, like I said, we've got lots of sprues and there's different colors. This weird light green. I think this light green is supposed to be the color of the interior. They show it on the side of the box, and they show the interior all in green. So I'm assuming everything is supposed to be this color. This is what color they're calling for the interior. So I'm going to have to find a paint to match this, because obviously this is not, we just can't leave it like this. We've got to paint it. Which means priming it, which means priming it, we're not going to primer it in green. There's no green primer unless I make some, which I'm not. And then we have this sand color, which I have yet to decide if I'm actually going to do this model in the sand color or if I'm going to do a camouflage. I don't know yet. Because you know, the US military in the sand color is really kind of boring. Even if you try and weather it, it's still sand colored. I love the cable. That's a neat little cable they got there. The detail in the kit, like the parts, the detail is cool. You know, we even got texture on this part, but not on here. You know, they've done, and then this is smooth and textured parts. Like it's really a nicely detailed kit. And we've got two sprues here that are really a dark green on olive drab color, and they're rubber. And these are the harnesses for the troops when they're inside standing up. Straps them to the walls. It's their seat belts. This thing, I don't know what it is, but we'll find out. And of course, we've got two of them. Another light green part. This almost looks like the front end of a truck. It's got the grill and everything there. But I don't know what that is. Some nice fine detailed wire parts. It's not really wire, but yeah, some kind of bags. You can see the texture they've done for the bags. They make them look like, I don't know, leather or whatever it is. Yeah, it's the kit detail is nice. I'll give it that. Two small parts sprues. These are letter J. Just small detailed parts. Two of those. We got a dark gray sprue. This is obviously this kind of looks like maybe the transmission. Could be the transmission parts. This will be a first for me. I have not built a tank with an actual engine inside of it before. Two more light green sprues. This looks like part of the turret stuff. And maybe the top panel. It's kind of weird. I'm not sure how this all is going to go together, because does this go inside? Looks like maybe inside there. So a lot of this won't be seen, but it will be through the ports and stuff like that, right? So yeah. Yeah, there you go. Okay, that's those. Another sip of coffee. Okay, our B sprue. These are obviously our side panels for the hull. It's going to go on the side here, something like this, and match up on there. That's probably wrong. It could be going this side. That kind of lines up with our front a little better. Yeah, something like that on the sides. Yep, that's that one. Another B, that was C sprue. Here's B. These look like armor. It's such a long track. I guess they go on the side here on these, probably like that, are armor plates, or like this, something like that. I'm not sure. Looking at the picture down on the bottom left, yeah, it looks like they go up on top like that, and then maybe this one on the bottom, something like that anyway, or vice versa. Maybe it goes with that one on top and this one on the bottom. I don't know. Maybe you get a choice of which style you want. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, next. R. A couple little fans. I think I know where my little photo etched fan grills are going to go. I don't know if these are nubs or what. It's possible. I don't know what these pieces are for, other than I know those are fans. It's some kind of little blocks. Maybe this is part of the fan assembly. Engine cooler. Here we've got the F sprue, which is our top of our turret. And obviously some spots where our little clear pieces are going to go in, all around our little visor ports. That's that. Again, it's the detail is very crisp and sharp on this kit. It's very good. I really got no complaints about that at all. The details in these Meng armor kits is really nice. I have to say, you know, you guys know I build a lot of Tamiya kits, and Tamiya armor just does not compare at all. Like, look at that. Even the grill, you can see my finger through it, and that's nice crisp. There's no flashing in there. It's just a very nice crisp mold. It's very well done. The detail on that hatch there, that panel, looks really nice. Back to that grill piece, it looks really good. And you can see my desk in through there. It's really nice. It's a good, nice, highly detailed kit. All the bolts, the bolt detail on that is really good. Plus, like this textured area here, it's just really nice. It's really done well. We've got another dark gray sprue, and that looks like an engine block to me. There's not a lot of detail to that engine block, but who cares? This looks like cylinder block and heads. This looks like maybe the exhaust ports that are going to go on the sides there. Here's your exhaust manifolds, muffler, oil pan, I guess, maybe. That could be an oil pan. I don't know. I really don't know. We'll get to it. We'll figure it out. I wonder if they're going to have it like a car model where you build the engine first. Probably not. It's a tank kit. It's probably going to be doing wheels first. Probably wheels first. This looks like more turret parts. More turret parts. More little parts. Yep. Okay. And it looks like more armor pieces, like armors that's going to go on the front. Boink, like this kind of thing. Or maybe like this. I'm not sure. One way or the other. This almost looks like maybe up top here. What do they call this? I think they call this reactive armor. I think that's going to go up top there like this, maybe. Something like that. That's what it looks like, right? Looks like it would fit there. Same with this. Fit right there. I don't know. But yeah, I believe they call it reactive armor because when it gets hit, it kind of explodes a little bit. It goes boom, it goes like this and explodes in your face when it gets hit, I believe. Or it goes bing and then releases all the energy upwards off of the tank. I think. I did, you know, correct me if I'm wrong. I know you guys watching me live, you're not going to say squat, because you never say squat, you never talk to me live. And finally, on the A sprue at the very bottom of the box, we've got all our wheels. And we have two A sprues. Two A sprues with all of our wheels and wheel bits on there. Okay, and then we've got a little strip of poly caps on there. Obviously these are going to be for the wheels too. And we've got a little bag of little metal tubes. I'm not sure what those are for. They could be for the wheels. I don't know. But yeah. And that about wraps it up for the what's in that. I got an empty box now. So let's put all this back in the box and out of my way so that I can take a look at our instruction booklet and see just what's involved with our first steps in building this little guy. It's really funny, you know, I'm looking at all these sprues. When I first opened the box yesterday, I was looking at all the sprues, and I'm thinking, why are there so many parts to this kit? Why are there so many sprues? This is not a Gundam. And when you're all done, it's only this big. Like, why is so many parts to such a tiny little thing? And that's when I open up the instructions and start flipping, it's like, oh, because it's actually got the full interior in it, that I have to put all the parts for the interior and actually build the engine. So that's why we're doing the interior and the engine and transmission, engine and tranny, and the interior. I mean, there's not a lot to the interior, right? I mean, it's an open bucket, so guys can climb in and stand right against the walls. I'll show you. Let me change the camera back here, and I'll just show you real quick. Like it shows you here in step 23. You see putting in the seat belts. There's really not a lot on the inside of those walls, right? And then you're closing it all up here in step 24. There's not really a lot. There's big empty space. There's just a lot of detail on the inside. So you're putting all these panels and things on the insides here, right? And all this stuff, all in the interior. The engine and tranny in the front. So there's just all that stuff going on the inside, and that's why we've got all that. So let's flip back here. First 7 pages are all text. You want me to read what it says here? You want to know the history on the Bradley? U.S. Infantry Fighting Vehicle M2A3 Bradley with Busk 3. I don't even know what the Busk 3 is. Red Square, Moscow. 1967? Are you kidding me? This thing is that old? No. It's not that old. We're going up into first paragraphs here. Suddenly we're all in 1983. It's going in some history about... oh, look at that. We've got a welded aluminum hull. It's powered by a 500 horsepower Cummins VTA 903 diesel engine and an HMDT 500 automatic transmission. 2-man turret made of aluminum. Aluminum had positions. It had positions? What happened to those positions? Rear passenger could hold 6 fully equipped soldiers. Mount and dismount through the rear ramp. 2 firing ports on each side for the hull. Firing with 5.56 millimeter M231 firing port weapons. There are also 2 firing ports on the rear ramp. So in 1985 they started improving the M2 and made an M2A1. Main improvements included a missile launcher, which could launch all types of TOW anti-tank missiles, and comprehensive NBC system, which was used for the soldiers to dismount easily. The fire alarm, fire suppression equipment, and fuel system are also upgraded. An AN/TAS-5 night vision sight was added to the launch of the FGM-77 Dragon anti-tank missiles carried by the soldiers. In 1986, in order to improve the protection of M2 IFVs, the U.S. Army started a high visibility survivability program to upgrade M2 IFVs to M2A2 IFVs with new side skirts. The M2A2 IFV looked quite different from the previous ones. Hull armor of the M2A2 IFV protected it against normal 30mm armor-piercing rounds. What's more, the turret had side skirts. It could be further protected by adding explosive reactive armor, there you go, ERA, produced by General Dynamics. The upgrade of armor raised the weight of the M2A2 IFV to about 30 tons. Wow, 30 tons. 60, what is that, 30 tons? 2,000 times 30, is that 60,000 pounds? Something like that. Where was I? So the vehicle received an improved 600 horsepower Cummins VTA 903 diesel engine. So got an extra horsepower in order to keep its mobility. The firing ports for the passenger compartment were cancelled for better protection of the hull. By 1994, the M2 and M2A1 IFVs were upgraded to the M2A2 version. 1,423 IFVs of them were modified to the M2A2 Operation Desert Storm. You guys remember Operation Desert Storm, which was based on in 1991. So this thing's been around for a long time, but let's just skip all this and we'll go to 1995. M2A2 ODS's Operation Desert Storms started to receive new upgrades and finally became the latest M2A3s. The most obvious difference between the two were added Commander's Independent Thermal Viewer, or CITVs, on the turret and driver's vision enhancer in the front hull. There were revolutionary changes inside the vehicle where a CO2 laser rangefinder, a digital fire control system, and an improved Bradley acquisition system were added. As a backbone of the U.S. Army, M2 IFVs took part in battle for the first time in the Persian Gulf War in 1991. M2 IFVs could carry soldiers and cover tanks, and also suppress enemy armored targets with its own firepower. It was as good as the M1A1 Abrams and Challenger 1. There you go. So there you go. That's our little history on this thing. It still doesn't tell me what a Busk 3 is. And of course, it's a tank model, so the starting of wheel assembly is what we're going to do. I want to find out what the Busk is. So let's just see. Attaching interior parts. It tells you what each section is. Like number 14 is transmission assembly. 15 is engine air intake system. 16, attaching power systems and driver bulkhead assembly. So I'm going to find out which one is the Busk 3. We got a turret basket and bulkhead assembly. Turret basket, bulkhead, compartment top armor, air conditioning. Oh, they got air conditioning. This thing's got air conditioning, guys. I wonder if it's got a heated steering wheel. Tools and spare track assembly. Attaching exterior armors, attaching glacis armor. Driver's hatch, vision and driver's vision enhancer, engine compartment hatch and external armor, engine exhaust outlet. It's cool. I like the fact that you know what you're building on each section. It tells you ramp access door, passenger access doors, fenders. The air conditioner. Oh, that's what those fans are for. That's for the air conditioning. Two great big air conditioners. Look at those things. Those things are huge. Look at that. Air conditioners. These are skirts and armors. Additional armor modules. Side skirts. The turret interiors. You even got interior in the turret. The interior parts on the turrets here. The gunner's integrated sight unit, or ISU, turret basket, turret armor and smoke grenade launchers, gunner's hatches and turret armors, additional armor module for the turret, more additional turret armor, gunner's integrated sight. There's a gunner's ISU right here. Commander's protection system assembly. Step 54. We got about 50 steps here, guys. Independent. There's our commander's independent thermal viewer assembly. Right there. The TOW anti-tank missile launcher. That's this guy right there. We get two of them, 1 and 2. Rear turret storage basket. The rear storage basket box and the TOW anti-tank missile launcher, but that's it. So what is the Busk 3? It doesn't mention anything about a Busk 3. I have no idea what it is. And then of course at the very back you can match up how many sprues and make sure you've got everything you're supposed to in the box. No mention of the Busk 3 at all, except on the title. That's it. Okay, let's fold my book over here. Fold this up so that I can see what I'm doing here. Off of the A sprues. We've got a few things we're not supposed to glue. So times n means make n parts. So you make times 12, times 2, times 2. So we got our road wheels, we've got our polycap, we've got our drive sockets, and we've got our idler wheel. So I'll do one assembly of each for you guys. So switch the camera here. The Busk 3 Bradley Urban Surveillance Survivability Kit. It's an advanced armor and protection upgrade package designed for urban combat. Well, thank you very much, Pumping It. Thank you very much. Now I know what the Busk 3 is, because I really had no idea and there was no mention of it in there. So, now I know. Thank you. That's awesome. It almost sounds like a Google answer, but that's perfect. So, what I'm going to do, I'm not going to make you guys watch me assemble 16 wheels here, but I will do one of each. 100%, yeah. Okay, so I'll do one of each, show you guys how they go together, and then I'll do the rest of them off camera, okay? So that's what I'll do. And same with the track links. I'll do 1 or 2 track links, I'll show you how those go together, and then I'll just do those in my spare time because, you know, there's like 160 links or something like that. I think I read in here, I saw it says like 80 links per side, something like that. So that takes some time, and so I'm not going to do that. Let me change the camera back and I'll show you. Let's do our wheels. So let's go with A8 and A12. Let's find these. I'm actually going to change my glasses here, just so I don't have to, so I can read the little tiny numbers on the sprue. A8 and 12. So this is 7, 9, 10. Here's 12. There we go. So we need A8. So where is 8? I saw 9. A8. 7. Oh, 8 is these ones. Okay, A8 and 12. We do A7 and 12 also, so let's get those. 7 and 8 do look different. So when that time comes, we've got to pay attention to that. So I know that a lot of the nubs you're not going to see, but you know, we're going to be putting track links on these things, and so you want the track links to sit the way they are supposed to. So you got to make sure your nubs are filed down smooth on your parts. These wheels do seem to be a little bit small for tanks. I don't know, just the diameter just seems a tiny little bit smaller than normal. Okay, so this goes on to the face side, or I guess it goes down inside. Ah, there we go, like this. Okay. Another reason to make sure your nubs are filed down smooth, if you want it to fit inside there. So I'm just going to run some glue along this edge here. Call that one done. Okay. This one I'm actually going to, I'll do a little test fit here. Make sure it goes in. Good. Okay. I'm going to pull it back out. And while I'm holding it, I'm going to put glue in this channel. And quickly do this. There we go. Okay. There's those two. Bing and bang. Okay. Next we're going to do polycap. It's one of these guys. Get that off of there. And polycap goes in here. Like that. And then these two go together. There's a little tiny notch right there on the side of that, so I know it's going to be hard to see on the camera. That little tiny notch right there. Okay, and you're going to line that up with a little tiny, there's a little tiny nub on the inside there. Okay. So I'm going to take some glue here, put it there, kind of eyeball it, but it should slot in. There we go. And there we go. So there's a wheel assembly. I know you get bots and people trying to sell you services on here. However, this is just for your information. I'm not sure how your collection of kits are, but I notice you saying you buy from eBay and stuff. I just want to tell you about a seller I've been dealing with who is located here in Toronto. He sells high quality kits for great prices. Again, this is just for your info. You check out his eBay account. I don't make any money or anything. Just try out a fellow modeler's. Damn commercial. Sorry. I have absolutely no control over the commercials that come up on Twitch. Sorry. Okay, so we got one wheel assembly done. That's that one. Okay, so they're the road wheels. So now we'll switch over to our drive sprocket. So we're going to get A9 and 10 and 5. 9, 10, and 5. Well, I saw 9 over here. So 9 and 10, and then 5. So these three. Bing, bang, bong. Just like that. So you got to be careful with these little sprockets here. Okay, there's 5. Always, here's his eBay link. I'm not sure if links are actually enabled in the chat. Yeah, I see up on my screen it's saying there's an auto mod held a message. Oh, it's showing me the eBay link. It's not showing it on the screen for you guys, but I'll take a look at it later. I appreciate that. Okay, so you gotta make sure you get these little tiny bits of nubs out of here, otherwise it ain't gonna work. Now, the smaller nippers you have, the easier it's gonna be for you. So, if you're somebody like me who's built Gundams, and I actually have a God Hand, I have God Hand nippers that I never use because they're really expensive, but you can use them. The God Hand nippers, you can see, it's been a long time since I've built a Gundam, so they're kind of collecting dust, sitting on my bench, but these are really fantastic, and if you really want high quality nippers that really do a fantastic job, I would recommend get yourself a pair of God Hand nippers. But like I said, they are expensive. It's like you can pay over $100 for a pair of nippers, and you might think, what the heck, why are you spending that kind of money on nippers? Well, because they are, I mean, they're nice, they're spring-loaded, they are just extremely sharp, and they cut the plastic rather than breaking the plastic. But these are, even these ones are still, they're too big to fit in between my thing, so I'm just working on them really tightly. Okay, so I'm going to put these away, and I'm going to resort to using a knife, because even with those I just can't get in there tight enough. So you got to be careful not to go too hard, and definitely you don't want to cut yourself, right? So I'm just going to go around, work on this. One more right there. Okay, so that one's done. Okay, let's work on our little ring here. This is the one that's going to be the delicate part that might break if you use too much force. So go lightly, take your time. I feel like I might even break this. I might have to put a new blade in my knife, because, you know, I'm the kind of guy that unless my blade breaks, I leave it in my knife for a long time, and I go through multiple kits using the same blade. I don't know why. Blades aren't super expensive, and yet I don't like wasting them. So while I'm saying that, I'm gonna suck it up. Now this is what I like to do. Whenever I throw out a blade, I like to get some masking tape, and I'll put it around my blade like this. A few wraps, so that when it goes in the garbage, this is not a pointy, sharp thing. And I'll get myself a new blade here. Biting the bullet, and I'm getting a new blade. There we go. Brand new blade. They're always covered in a little bit of oil when you get them new. So just wipe that oil off. It prevents them from rusting in storage and stuff like that. So, oh, there's also another modeler that streams. He's a huge armor guy. be an excellent source of info for tanks you have questions for. So check them out at downtime. You know, this is a fan base watch them. Get a shout out to your stream for more views. Yeah, there's a couple of Euro guys watching. He's on there. Oh, Warduck Miniatures. Yes, I know him. I know Warduck Miniatures. Unfortunately, a lot of the times that I'm available to go online, he's not online. And that's the biggest problem I see with him. But I have talked to him a couple times. Yeah, our schedules just don't seem to match up. Yeah, 5 p.m. Eastern. I'm usually on at like, I'd say, well, like now, which is 6 a.m. Pacific. So yeah, he's probably still asleep, and I wouldn't blame him for that. I'm one of these crazy people that wakes up really early in the morning, and I feel like if I've slept in till 7 a.m., I've missed half the day. I don't know. I'm just one of those people. I'm weird like that. Okay, so we have these done, and so we need to get another poly cap that's going to go in the middle of it here. Now that our parts are clean, we spent what was that, 5-10 minutes just cleaning them up. Now with a nice good blade, it sure makes life easier. So poly cap's going to go in here on A9. A10 is going to match up with it like this, and it, of course, it has a little notch on there too to line up. Yeah, I wake up early for work too. Yeah, that's what I do. Okay, so we got those lined up. Do I have them lined up? There we go. We're lined up just like that. And so I'll put some glue on that edge there. And it's not lined up now. Now there we go. Give that a second to do its thing. And then A5 is going to go on that. So A5, just trying to figure out if there's a front and a back. It looks like we've got a bit of a notch that this is going to go in like that. So what's going to be hard on here is getting A5 to line up so that all of our cogs match up. Because it's going to be really easy to put A5 on there and not have it match. Actually, I think it looks like there's a little notch right there that maybe I trimmed off of A10 and I should not have. So just looking at the little mark where I trimmed that off right there, I'm going to line that up. Best as I can. That's not the mark. That's the mark. Okay. Put those together. Little glue on that. Put a little bit more. There we go. So there's our drive cog. That's all done. 3 parts for that. It's one of the most detailed drive cogs I've ever assembled, especially with Tamiya kits. You got 2 pieces, kind of like our idler wheel. Just 2 pieces and that's it. Okay, so there's our drive cog. So next one, finally we're going to do our idler wheel, which is A1 and 2. It's going to be the simplest one of the 3. A1, A2, and of course a poly cap. again, clean these up. Now I got a brand new blade, so I got to be careful how much pressure I put on here. I always find brand new blades are the most dangerous blades for me, because I get used to having to put a certain amount of pressure to get it to cut, and then I replace it with a new blade and I use that same pressure, and next thing you know, and it cuts through like butter, and next thing I know, I'm cutting my finger. Never feels all that good. Funny enough how that works. Polycap goes in here. Again, we've got a little notch. And it's going to go in there like this. And we're going to line it up. Kind of like that. Okay. So, I want to put glue on the inside. Go. Kind of eyeball it a little bit. There we go. We've lined up all the way down, and that's done. It does really make for a lot of detail when you see the wheel in behind it. Like, that looks pretty cool. But you see that detail back there to show it's actually two pieces. That's cool. So that's that. That's your 3 wheels. We got to do 11 more road wheels and 1 more of each idler and drive sprocket. Okay, but I'm going to leave the rest of these and do these off camera. Let's move on to step number 2. I only have about 5-6 minutes left. So let's look at these. We have to build a whole bunch of these too, our suspension system. So let's look at A3 and A11. A3 is this arm here. Okay. And A11, this little bracket piece. Now all of these are fairly similar except for this. This one looks unique. So I'll just do one of these. Because again, we got to do 4 of these, and then just using other pieces that look similar, we're going to do the others. You get a nub on this little bar. I'm pretty sure you need to clean this up nicely. This looks like it's going to insert somewhere. So you want to have that done nice. So on this part here is where this goes. I can pick it up. It's a very thin little piece. Let's clean that little nub off of there. There we go. This guy goes on to here. I'm going to do it the right way though. It's just like a... I don't know why they did this as a separate piece. It looks like all it's doing is adding detail to it. That's literally all it's doing, is adding a bit of a detail. That's all it's doing. It's just making that, giving that little detail on there. And that's it. It just sits like that. So I got 4 more of these to do, then 3 more of these, and 4 of these, and 2 of these. Okay, but I wanted to look at this one, this little step here, because we're utilizing our metal bits, our little metal tubes. So let's look at A17 and 19. We'll do this, and then I'm going to have to get going. So here's 17 here, this little rod, looks like a tie rod end, and then 19 18, 19. Okay. Let's get a metal tube out of here. It says not to glue it, but I'm guessing you're not to glue it to the metal tube. Well, I mean, you can't. With regular hobby glue, the plastic's not going to glue to the metal. Anyway, so it wouldn't, you know, it's kind of irrelevant to even say don't glue it. But I suppose you may be tempted to use some CA glue and glue it in there. So we put our metal tube over top of this. They are calling it, looks like, to paint it. And then we've got A19. Looks like it goes in this end of the metal tube, like this. It's hard to tell in the picture exactly which way this is supposed to go. I'm guessing that the end that's a lot tighter is supposed to go in the end of the metal tube. This. But they say don't glue it, so I'm not really sure what they're supposed. What do they not want the metal tube glued to that? I'm just going to leave this until it's time to actually install it. It's very possible that we're supposed to be able to adjust the length on it. Why do you only do an hour at a time? Well, I only do an hour at a time because a lot of times stuff needs to just take time. Paint needs to cure, glue needs to dry, stuff like that. And you know, as far as I do a lot more of this stuff for really, I get a lot more interaction on my YouTube channel than I do on Twitch. And of course, people on YouTube, they just want to tap through on certain sections that they're interested in, and so doing a video that's like 2 or 3 hours long on YouTube is really pointless, right? So I just do a short, I guess, relatively short 1 hour clips on my YouTube, and to get that done. And I'm not really all that great at video editing, so I don't want to spend an hour editing videos and cutting them down, taking a 3 hour video and cutting it into 3 different sections and stuff like that. And it also feels weird doing like an introduction, like, hey guys, welcome to the video, like halfway through while I'm already doing that. It just feels weird. So that's kind of why I just do an hour at a time. Anyway, so these are obviously the shock absorbers on here. Shock absorbers on our suspension, so I guess they want them to be able to slide in and out. So I suppose you could put some CA glue on this little section here to make sure that stays in, because although this is really tight, that could come apart at some point. So I am actually going to put a little bit of CA glue on that, because I don't want it to fall apart on me. So I know the amount that comes out of here is going to be way overkill to hold this on there. Okay. Let's kind of wipe up the excess a little bit. So there we go. So let that cure. Let that dry. So then the next step would be put this on the lower hull. Where did I put my hull? My hull is buried under here. Lower hull. So this is step number 1. So number 1 is going to go back here on this spot. It's going to go in here like that. And then our shock absorber is going to go in. Let's see here. How much trouble am I going to get in by putting this in there with CA glue in there? Hopefully I got no CA glue in there. So this goes into this hole right here. Like that. Does it? This is a nub. That's why this doesn't look like the picture. This needs to be taken off. Like that. That's why it looks funny. Okay, I understand now. This clips in here. It snaps in. It's tight, but it's supposed to snap in there. We're going to line it up. There. Snaps in there. So it can actually turn and line up with your arm. Like this. Is it like that? Come on. Wow, you really don't want to cooperate now that you got glue on you. That's happens to me all the time. Everything fits great until I get glue on it. And we're not even gluing this in. Get in there. Okay, screw you. Screw you. This is a really tight fit for some reason. Oh, it's supposed to snap on there too. Or is it? No. The way they've done it, they've got this little, right on this little peg, there's a little big section. It's got a nub on the top, on the end of it. See that little nub? It's a little bit bigger. So when you look at this, this has, it's really hard to tell, but one end seems to be a little bit bigger. It doesn't really want to go in here, and yet it goes in all the way to, almost all the way here. So if I take this and go, just press, and let's try this way, where it's hard to go in. Let's try pressing this through here. No, she doesn't want to do it. She wants a break on me. So let's try this, and let's just squeeze these together here with my tweezers. There we go. Snapped in. So, yeah, she moves. She's got a bit of resistance, but she moves. And I'm understanding now why they want this. I have this the wrong way around. Boink. Why they don't want you to glue it. Because this has to go in and get assembled somehow. we go. So we have a little bit of movement here. It's not the greatest. I mean, a little bit of lube would help, but it makes for an actual suspension piece that works and has some resistance. And of course, our little square piece just naturally fell into our little channel here to give resistance. So we have that little bit of twist in there. They don't even show it going into the channel here, and yet it did it automatically. It went in there, and now I've got a working suspension piece just like that. So I have to do, you know, what, 6 and 5, 11 more of these to do this. See, she popped out here, so that's why she did that. So I'm going to want to glue that in so that she stays. There we go. And then I'll stop playing with it so it can stay in its spot. And that's that. Okay, so we're getting there. So what I'm going to do, actually what I can do before I go, D12 needs to go on the front here. Before I go, let's just grab my D. Yes, grab my D. It's always fun to grab your D. Gotta find the sprue. I can't find my D. Oh, there it is. Found my D. I found my D. Okay. 12. There's some really big ejector pins on the back of this. So we'll trim these off. And I'm going to use a file to make sure they're flat. Because they will interfere if they're not flat. There we go. These two that are already on here, these just little ejector pin marks, those were, Meng did a good job at removing those, but these other three, yeah, just horrible. Okay, that's smooth. So our two little pegs are going to line up with those two little holes, and bingo, you're going to have an armor piece on there. Okay. So a little bit of a squeeze. In fact, just do this just to hold it there for me. Call that done. Okay, that's it. So this is where I'm going to end it for today. So I got to get going here real quick. My wife's going to be screaming at me. Off camera, I'll finish up the wheels. I'll finish up the suspension parts so we can move on to the next step and get that all taken care of. Thank you very much, Pumping It. You have a good day too. And thank you for the info. That was really cool. I probably should have Googled it, but I thought maybe the instructions would tell me what the Busk is, but obviously it didn't. But Google did. Awesome. So yeah, thanks for the info, and I'll check out that eBay page later on when I got some time and see what they got. And so I want to thank you for watching. Thanks for coming out. Down below in the description box you'll see links to my other stuff, like my Instagram and my Twitch and my X channel. If you go on my Instagram, you'll see some pictures. After every build that I do, I take a few pictures of it and I put it up on my Instagram, so you can take a look at stuff I've built in the past if you feel like it. It's up to you. And I'll see you on YouTube. Yeah, thank you. And so don't forget, hit that like button, hit subscribe if you feel like it, and also leave comments down below and let me know how you feel about this stuff. I really appreciate it, and thank you very much for watching, and I guess that's about it. So we'll see you all in the next one.